All right, what's going on, guys? It is F100 week at Brown Bros Garage, and today we are with Mugg Customs and his 59 F100.
Hold it. Run that back.
Wait a minute. Go right. There, freeze that.
Here I come. Oh.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Let's dive into this thing. Well, actually, first off, we're spraying poppies on our 59 F100, and I think the biggest question people have is how long does this stuff last? And you sprayed this a year ago, give or take?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What?
No, you're good. I knew the answer was yes. I'm like, why is he not saying yes? Why is he not saying yes?
Yeah, we sprayed this about a year ago. I didn't really, no, we prepped it, minimal prep. Like literally we woke up, you remember, we woke up that morning, David was in the shop. I said, you know what, paint the truck today. And we came over here, we got a kit. We went to the hardware store on the way home, bought Scotch pads, tape, paper, the most minimal prep you can do.
Mugg Customs. I mean, what's on your channel? Why do our viewers want to go watch what you're doing?
Because I try to build things frugal, like cheap. I build things fast, I build them for myself. Getting to the fun part is why I build stuff. And at its core, that's the only reason we all started this, so why not get back to that? Yeah.
Well, let's dive in a little bit into your F100.
Okay.
It's not normal.
Nope.
What's going on under the hood? What's the drivetrain? What's the chassis?
Okay. 98 Grand Marquis Mercury Crown Vic car. The reason we did that, the front ends are welded in on those cars. They're not the removable aluminum Crown Vic. Even in the rear end, the shock mounts are mounted like where a traditional 4-link would be. They're not on the outside of the frame, an inch from your wheel set. So when you put those metrics together on a Ford truck, everything's tucks left to right. It's not, you don't have turning issues. All that goes away. The next metric was the length. It was 4 inches too long. So we cut the frame in half, we shortened it, welded it back together, had a drive shaft built, and then now it's just a righteous rig. Literally runs and drives like a cop car.
All right, it is F100 week at Brown Bros Garage, and in today's video, we are gonna be spraying Poppy's Patina on this 1959 F100. Okay, today we are gonna be doing the Poppy's Patina clear coat on the 59 F100. This truck we just picked up, it's a 1959 F100. It's got the cool front 59 grille, almost like the yellow truck that we have, the F700. That's a 58. It's a short bed, still has a tailgate, so I'm super excited to get this thing sprayed with Poppy's Patina. I don't know, I think we might have shown 1 or 2 videos on how to do it. Everyone asks. Got a thing of rags to wipe it down. I got 2 4-packs, which is probably way too much of these Scotch-Brite pads. But before we start scuffing and scraping, I want to get these badges off. All right, got the first badge off. There's a whole bunch of mud on the inside. I think I'm just gonna clean out the bed and get all that stuff out of there because I think we're gonna spray inside there too. Oh! Okay, here is where the fun begins. This is all you really need. Get yourself a chair, or you can stand, take that Scotch-Brite pad, and basically what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be scoring this paint and kind of getting some of this rust off a little bit. So when we clear coat, the clear coat has something to adhere to. So yeah, your arm's gonna hurt after doing this for a while, but so is everyone's necks when you're driving past them and they're like, whoa, look at that thing.
Don't worry, you're not gonna watch me scrub this whole truck. I wanna get to the fun part where we actually get to spray Poppy's Patina. But let me talk about a few things that I learned during this process. Number one is having a spray bottle handy. You can see when I get to the hood, it's so pitted from rust, I didn't think there was gonna be any blue. But once I started scrubbing and spraying it down, you can see some of that blue pop through. So be very mindful about when you're prepping this truck. You might have some color in areas which you did not know there was gonna be any color left. Second is when you're working these areas, be mindful not to scrub too hard in one area or you're gonna go straight through the rust and down to bare metal. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I can tell you for sure your hand is gonna be tired. You can see my mom even jumped in to help because I was exhausted from scrubbing all day long. What I did find out is someone had sprayed this truck with a silver paint. I don't know why, because the whole reason this truck is so cool is because of that baby blue color. Luckily, if you scrub hard enough, this silver comes off. So I spent the next week scrubbing all this silver off the truck because I wanted that nice baby blue color to really pop. Prep does not usually take this long, but I really wanted to take my time because I knew once we sprayed it, we had one shot. You can even see the amount of Scotch-Brite pads that I went through prepping this truck.
And I want to show you a couple of the tools that I've bought and that have really helped this process. I went on Amazon. They literally make grinder disc pads in the Scotch-Brite. They make them in red and green. And I just tried using it and it works phenomenal. This is for metal polishing, wheel polishing, and it allows you to go at a very slow speed so you're not eating through that paint. And I will show you the bits that I've been using. They're these guys right here. See that? Same Scotch-Brite in a smaller bit so you can get in all the little nooks and crannies. Getting this area is easy, but getting down here, that's a little more difficult. Get nice and wet, so as you're cleaning it, seeing the area that you're working. Boom. There you have it. Let me get out of the shadow. This requires kind of actively spraying at the same time. Again, wet it down, and then you can hit this corner right here, just applying a little bit of tool power. All right, today is the day we are finally gonna be spraying the blue F100. What I'm doing right now is I'm taping off the windows, anything that we don't want sprayed with clear coat. So when we spray poppies, it comes off so much more drippy and so much more wet as compared to just doing a wipe on. A wipe on is great, but if you have the ability to spray, in my opinion, it's so much better.
Well, should have worn my Poppy's Patina shirt today, but that's all right. We are spraying Poppy's Patina's glossed out clear coat on this 59 Ford F100 short box. So let's go ahead and dive into what we've done to the truck and what we are about to do to get this thing ready for some clear coat. So we've done a considerable amount of sanding on this truck to get it to the point where we're happy and to spray some of this glossed out Poppy's Patina clear coat. You could spend 15 minutes scrubbing a truck down. You could spend 2 weeks scrubbing a truck down. It just depends what you want out of your original paint. Really be surprised what's behind that rust. Don't overthink it, but get all that oxidation, nasty stuff off. We sprayed the truck down with some water, wiped it down, scrubbed everything, just cleaned it up really good. Then we brought it inside, taped everything off, and then wipe the entire truck down with the Poppy's Patina wax and grease remover. You want to get as many contaminants off of that original paint as possible before we start spraying. Alrighty guys, so now that the truck is prepped and taped off, ready to go, we're gonna move on over to our two products here. So this is our glossed out clear coat, and this is our activator. So Poppy's Patina, they use a 4:1 ratio, which means, find here, 4:1, you fill this up with your clear coat and you add your activator till it goes to there. If you want to do 2, then you go up to 2 and then add your 2 on the activator. So this all confused me. I don't have a painting background. Took me a little bit to figure this out, but that is what you use. It is different for the wipe on application, but for today, we are spraying. So basically, we're gonna mix this up, load it up into our cheap Walmart Harbor Freight gun. You don't need anything super fancy. And we will make sure our compressor pressure, what we're spraying out of here, is around 40 to 50 PSI, maybe around 45 PSI. We're just gonna check that fan test it out, make sure it's spraying out evenly and with enough product to do so. You don't need a super fancy gun for this. It's always a good idea to use a strainer when doing this. I think it helps keep things a little bit cleaner, keeps the gun safe. Gun's full, cap's on. Now, I like this stuff to go on pretty thick, but for the first coat, relatively light. We'll try to cover our entire surface area. And once we spray the entire truck, we'll wait about 15 minutes and then we'll go back with a super heavy coat. Alrighty guys, first coat's done. I did lay it on pretty thick. My definition of a light coat is pretty heavy, but don't be scared. You know, you don't want to dust it. I mean, you want to lay it on, but I'm doing about a 50-50 fan. So I'm spraying my fan and I'm going down 50% of that other fan. But you really want to take this time, look over the truck, find the spots that you missed, plan out your next spray route. Because it's really easy to start here or start down here, and then you have to lean over the hood. And it makes it really difficult. You know, your shirt will get caught or your air hose will get in the way. So I spend time and I look over certain spots. I think the grills are probably the most difficult because if you have a bedside or a door, I mean, you're working your way down. But if I just sprayed the hood and I have this portion of the hood I need to spray along with the grill, then it's kind of difficult to figure out where you're going, what you've gotten, especially in some low lighting here. So, but I would say first spray, it laid on super well. We do have lots of pitting in the hood, so I did lay the first coat on very thick for the hood. As you can see, I think the second coat, it'll really fill a lot of those pits up. It won't fix all of them, but I think a good majority. Sometimes I'll spray the roof really thick because I might not have the opportunity to get up there and get it as even as possible. The roof and the hood I'll lay on a little extra thick depending on how much pitting we have or the accessibility. But you want to give it about 15 minutes in between sprays. I'll get everything ready for our second spray. We'll lay it on nice and thick, but be careful not to get any runs, and then we'll see how she turns out.
We're always doing this. We should just do one together.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have such same taste in vehicles.
But definitely not the same group of people watching. So maybe your people should know my people and my people should know your people. So let's just do a collaboration.
Wanna do one?
Yeah.
I feel like we should do a video for the people on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So let's run it
Let's
back.
don't do a Thanksgiving video. Let's just do a video on Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll just collab. We'll do a whole video.
Bet. All right, let's go. We got work to do.
We gotta push.